Tonight I'm calling this video Polychromatic Cards Using Summer Shadow Dies. We're going to be making another card using freebies from the saleabration catalog. We're going to be using Summer Shadow Dies, and we're also going to be using the 12x12 hand pen designer series paper found in the annual catalog. And that's going to be used in the background. I'm partial to monochromatic cards, but these polychromatic cards really look awesome, if I can say so myself. I think you're going to like it. Hi, I'm Joan Heberlein, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I've created this video for Joan's Simple Paper Crafts, found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Lately I've been doing videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now give me a second to turn the camera down so we can get started. Here's the card we're going to make using the Summer Shadow dies. Let's take a look at those dies. Each flower is made with 2 dies, and this is the large flower here, this purple one right here. And it's made with a background piece, which is the shadow, and then the foreground piece, which is the outline. Same applies for the smaller flower, and then for the leaves. I went ahead and cut all our dies, except for the large outline of the flower. So we'll just take that die out of there to come back and use later on. And let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to use SAFFRON background for the base card. So this is a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to fold it and then burnish it with our scoring blade. And I burnish it on both sides to get a nice crisp edge. And then next we want to do is the inside of the card. So the inside we put a white piece of basic white, and then we've got this single flower and the petals, and the stamp is wishing you happiness this special day will bring, and that is from the Peaceful Moments stamp set right here. So we'll use that in just a second, and we're going to use our SAFFRON stamp pad as well. And I'm just eyeballing the center. I think I want to move it down a little bit. That should be fine. And I'm just going to press it and then lift straight up. And I think that worked pretty good. And then I'm going to actually, as long as I have my ink out, I am going to do the happy anniversary on the front of the card. And that is done with a wish for everything. This set comes in 2 cling stamp sets. One is for the sentiment on the inside of the card. This is almost every occasion here, except for it doesn't have an anniversary one, so we won't use that portion. But it does have the happy anniversary. So they're single, so you can piece them together to make whatever wish you want. So we've got a happy and an anniversary. And I would recommend doing this on paper first. So let me get our stamp paper, because you have to piece the 2 pieces together, and it's difficult to get it to come out exactly. So I would recommend doing it first on paper before you go onto the cardstock. And that happens to be lined up just right. When I started earlier, I had the happy going way up crooked, so, and let's try and do it on this cardstock here and see if we can't get it to stamp in the center properly. If it doesn't work, I already have one stamped out and we can use that. I just want to try and show you how to do this as well. And then I'm just going to see if I've got it centered. Sorry if my head gets in the way. And coming down, straight down. Just doing a little pressure there and then lifting straight up. Not bad. Let's see. I think we might use this one instead. Yeah, why don't we go with this one right here. Now I think we can close our ink pad. And I'm going to take a moment to wash off our stamps. And I'll just finish getting the rest of the ink off of here. And I was stamping earlier, so I don't need to spray this. But if it's not wet enough, you can use our Stampin mist. And you just give it a couple squirts, and then you can, and you do it on the side where the raindrops are up there in the corner, and then this side has the sunbeam, so this stays dry. And then just and I'll just put those aside. So then we can come back and let's go ahead and finish off this happy anniversary, as long as we've got it here before we actually lose it. So I'm going to do the pointed end of this banner's pick-a-punch. This banner, or this punch, allows you to do 6 different punches. There's 3 with the pointy punch and 3 with the chevron punch. So there's one at 1/2 inch, and then I think it's 3/4 inch, and then 1 inch. So this piece of paper is 1/2 inch, so you just feed it in, all the way in, and then I'm going to just turn it around because I want to make sure that we punch it when it's centered. So, and I think that's right there, and I'm going to just punch it down, and now it's holding the paper, and I think it's centered, so I'm going to finish punching it. And then we'll punch the other side. So I am going to trim it at about 1/2 inch out, because about 1/8 inch gets cut off. And I'm just eyeballing it. The other thing is you could take your card, the measurement that you want it to be, and add the 1/2 inch on each end for the punch, and then take it in and punch it then that way. This is difficult doing this small card like this because it's a small banner sentiment, because it's difficult to hang on to it. So I got it even. I'm going to punch. So now I have to try and get it back out of here, but it works. And then I am going to just kind of use my bone folder just to press those edges, just to make sure that they're not rolled the wrong way. And we'll just set this aside till later. So then to finish the inside of the card, we need our flower, which we've already cut out, and our 2 leaves. Now I found when I did the leaves that the stems were too long and they were coming, I could see them sometimes inside those dots. So I am going to trim those stems off quite a bit because we don't even see them. So I'm going to go right to the leaf. And then I just put them down, just to kind of visualize where they go before I start putting glue on them. And I actually use glue on the leaves portion. And then I use glue dots on the flower portion to kind of give it a little elevation. And I think that's fine just like that. So I am going to put glue on this bottom leaf. And let me get my handy dandy silicone mat. Apparently I didn't wash it or clean it from the last time, but ink is all dry, or the glue is all dry, so we don't have to worry about anything getting corrupted with that. And then I'm just going to put the glue on the back of this. And I'm actually using this multi-purpose glue, which I put into this small bottle because of the needle nose tip. For this particular reason, because of the stems, it's difficult for me to get it on there without having it go all over the place. So, and I'm going to glue down this first leaf. I'm just going to check where we got, because I think I kind of shifted things a little bit, but so I think we're good there. Then we'll put the glue on the second leaf. If I start the glue up in the leaf portion, then you can pretty much pass it down into the stem portion without having it put glue all over the place. And I'm not going to squish that all the way down because I'm not sure if I've got it in the right position. And I think that is going to work. So now we're going to use the glue dots for the flower, and I'm just going to put 2 on there. Let's see. We'll just go opposite of each flower. So like petal there, and then we'll do the opposite petal. That should be fine. And then let's see where we want to kind of adjust it a little bit where we lay them. I think that'll work. Okay. Then we'll just add a little glue to the back of this. I have to get in the habit of starting out in the center part, because when it starts out it does tend to have a larger glue glob, if you will, than it does once you get going. And we want to leave 1/8 of an inch of the cardstock all the way around to give us a border on this. And I think that's good, and I am just going to press this down. I wished I hadn't put the flower on yet, because then I could have just used my bone folder very easily to get it all in place. But I'll just flip this over and come at it from the back side. That should work fine. Okay, so we've got the inside done. So the next we need to do is the outside. And what we want to do here is we want to stamp this with the Versamark, and that'll give it a little shadow outline on the card when we use the Versamark. And again, I wished I hadn't put the stamp on the inside, but we should be fine there. it should be fine. It shouldn't show up. So this is what I did here, is we stamped it with this stamp right here, and we turned it a couple different ways, and we stamped the outer rim of the card, and that gives you that pattern look. So you're making your own designer series paper is what you're doing. So I am going to just get a stamp out. I should have had this ready. So there it is. And I'm just going to turn it back over this way. And we just go around the edges. So I'm just going to put one right here. So it's not the entire thing, and it doesn't give you a whole lot on the yellow. I'm going to turn it sideways. And I'll just turn it sort of upside down to go this way. And we'll come up from this direction. And then we need one down here. So I don't know if you can see that. We've got it going all the way around. And I am going to close that up, and we're going to wash this stamp off right now while that's drying. And I am going to put a little more onto this Stampin' scrub because of using that stamp, that ink. I want to make sure it comes off. Takes a little longer to dry. That's why you're able to put the embossing powder on there. And I guess it kind of foamed up on me. So we didn't really need all of that ink, did we? Or the spray. Okay, next we're going to want to do is glue down our background paper. So we've got a 3x4 inch piece of the designer series paper, which is the hand penned paper. And it is the same paper that we had used last Friday when we did a card. When we did this card here, but it is the reverse side of it, and I was really uncomfortable covering that up, this side of it up, so I'm glad that we're doing this card now. And this is a 12 by 12 sheet of that paper, and it comes in 6 different patterns. And it's double-sided, so you have a total of 12 patterns there, I believe. Yeah, 12 patterns, so. And I'm just going to put glue down. And I'm just going to center it on the card. So that's giving me about maybe 3/4 of an inch, half an inch on the sides and 3/4 from the top and the bottom. Might be actually 5/8 on the sides. Anyways, you center it. And then we need our card base, our card pieces. So these are all been die cut and glued together. So that I left one leaf not glued, and I didn't finish this one right here. So we're going to die cut this piece. And I wanted to show you another way, rather than gluing them with this glue here. We actually have our adhesive sheets, which comes in 6 by 12 inches. So this is a half sheet of that paper, and that comes in 2-inch strips. So you can take a 2-inch strip, and I usually run, for doing these cards, I cut a piece 2 inches long, and I had it longer, but I'm using it just a 2 by 2 square for this example. And we're going to put it on this card, the back of this card, and then we'll die cut this. And then we'll show you how you peel that off and apply it to the card base. So in order to apply it, we're going to put it on this side of the card. And I don't think it matters which side we put it on, because they're both clean. So it doesn't matter. So I'm going to peel this off, and this is a glossy, it's not sticky, so that's just garbage then. And then I'm going to set it down onto this piece here. I'm not sure if you can see, so I'm moving it up to the center where everybody can be able to see it. And just putting it down on this card base. And then when we put the die, we're going to put it in our die cutter this way, our cut and emboss machine this way. So I'll go do that right now, and I'll be back. So here we go. Try to just use my take your pick tool to just help get that off of the base. And then I am just going to pop out the negative space. And I'm taking out the dots for the center of the flower. Now, this die set is part of the celebration that's going on right now. It was free when I purchased $100 from any active catalog, and even the mini catalog counted. Trying to get all these off from here. And the sale goes until September 30th. So it started in August, the beginning of August, and it runs until the end of September. So there's really about 1 month left. So if you like these things you're seeing, I recommend placing your order now, because it's why supplies last, and sometimes some items sell faster than others. And so now I'm just going to lay this down on the base, and it should fit entire base, because the pattern is the same on both of them. The outer pattern is the same. So there, that works really well. And if you don't like to use that, you can use your old-fashioned glue. And that's where I think the glue tips come into play. So if you're using the glue bottle, use the smaller glue tip, the pen tip, and you would start it up here and go down along the base. But I am not going to use that. I am going to use my needle nose tip. And I still start up at the bigger portion and then work my way down into where it's a finer line. Some days work better for me than others, but this seems to be working okay right now, so and I'm just going to lay this down. Again, the outlines should match, so it should just lay right on top of the shadowed piece. It's got some excess glue there, but okay. So we got that done. So then next we want to do is we want to apply it to our card. So the card, let's bring in our other piece here. See if I can get them all in camera. So what I did the last time was I applied the leaves first, and I didn't trim off the stems on the leaves this time because I think there's enough going on here where it doesn't matter if you see it. So I glued the leaves down, and then I glued the yellow flowers down, just the center portion of the flower. As you can see, this is loose up here. And then for the purple, I put that on with dimensionals. And I believe I use glue dots for the center of the flowers, now that I'm looking at it. So let me, because I didn't want it to just be laying directly onto the leaves. I wanted to have some kind of dimension there. So let's do the leaves first. And I am just going to glue that down right about there. And then we'll glue this one down. And I'm glad that it's liquid glue, because then it allows me to move it around a little bit, because it won't dry as quickly as if I had done Seal or Seal Plus. That's pretty much permanent, where you set it down and you need to live with it that way. So this is where I'm going to go with the glue dots, and I'm going to put 3 on the bottom portion, 1 on the left, 1 on the center. I've got glue dots way up here too. Let's go back here. Left, center, and the right portion. Let me do one on the next leaf, and then we should be able to get these put down. So I think I want them somewhere right around there. I'm not pressing it down because I may need to adjust it a little bit. And I'm not going to put this down really hard yet either. I think I want to turn this a little bit more. Okay, don't want it going off the designer series paper. I kind of want to leave it inside the frame of the designer series paper. Yeah, I think let's leave the yellows in place. And I'm just rubbing that glue dot down. And then we need to put this on with dimensionals and maybe a couple glue dots. So I'll put the dimensionals in the center part, and I'm actually going to put them right on the center part. So, and I'm using the smaller glue dots. So I'm going to put one right here and one right down here. And then we'll put our glue dots like right around on each of these petals toward the tip of those. And that I did a little bit differently than what I did on the first version of the card. I just put dimensionals up there, and I didn't think I had difficult finding the right place to set it down on the card because of the yellow card being there too. So hopefully this will work better. One more. So what we did is we got a dimensional or a glue dot on each of the little portions that are sticking out there, and then we got two dimensionals right in there, and we're going to put it down right around there. And I'm just going to pull the paper backing off the dimensionals. And we're going to lay it down. So that is done. And next we need to do is our sentiment. And so we're going to use the larger dimensionals. So we'll put these tiny ones away. We'll grab the larger ones, and I'm going to put 3 on there because I want to make sure that it will withstand going through the rollers of the postal system. I usually am a pretty heavy duty dimensional person. So and then we will just apply this right here. So then they both say happy anniversary. And like I said last Friday, I have a lot of people in my family, so these are definitely going to be used for my family. I hope you like this project as much as I did. As you can see, you could use it with any sentiment, so it could be a great happy birthday card or even a sympathy card. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji. That means you like it. And would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to share my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or would like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanssimplepapercrafts.com. joanheberline.stampinup.net. Bear with me a little bit longer because I want to let you know of the promotions going on right now. Experience everything the autumn season has to offer with this month's paper pumpkin kit. Whether you're thinking about crisp red apples or you're ready to carve some spooky jack-o'-lanterns, or both, the Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kit is a hands-on crafting experience for all autumn lovers. The kit contains enough supplies to create 12 treat boxes. Offers a versatile autumnal experience with the selection of treat box styles. Take your pick of apple, pumpkin, or jack-o'-lantern treat boxes. The paper pumpkin box is even designed to easily transform into a vintage wheelbarrow to display your harvest. The Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kit runs from August 11th through September 10th. The July-December mini catalog is here. Sales run from August 3rd through January 3rd. It's your passport to stunning seasonal projects. It contains all the products you'll need to craft, create, and celebrate during Halloween, Christmas, and more. Are you ready to celebrate? Saleabration is one of our biggest promotions of the year. Are you ready to celebrate? During the celebration, you can earn exclusive products for free. For every $50 you spend, you can add your pick of a celebration product to the cart at no additional cost. Sale runs August 3rd through September 30th. Mark your calendar. I'll be back next Wednesday, September 1st at 7 p.m. Central Time. We will be doing something with the Hand Pen Petals stamp set, and I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.